There's a couple of pieces of news from Sony that I think that we should be paying very close attention to. The first is that in China, Sony has registered what appears to be an A7 III body, A7 Mark III body. Through this registration process, what we can expect is within 1 to 2 months of that registration, actually that product being announced. Now that would mean, and other rumors that are kind of circulating around are hinting at the end of April, or mid to the end of April being about when we should be hearing from Sony about their next camera, their next big announcement. And I'm taking that to mean the A7 III. Here's the features that I want on the A7 III that would really make it worthwhile to me. I would love 30 megapixels. I would love enhanced in-body image stabilization. I would love logarithmic profiles. I'd love like an S-Log 4. I think if S-Log 2 and 3 could be bumped down to about 800 ISO, like they are in the Alpha 6300 and 6500, that'd be fantastic. I'd love 4K, and I'd love 4K 60. I think if we could get 1080p at 240 frames per second, that would be awesome. I think I want 14-bit color depth on the stills. I think I want ISO up to, that 102,000, because I think that Sony's sensor technology should be able to handle that. Sony recently released a phone, or the camera for a phone, I believe it's in their Xperia, their most recent Xperia phone release, that can shoot 960 frames per second for 1.8 seconds in 1080. Now, that's awesome. That is fantastic, and that technology should be filtering into the mirrorless market and the A7 line. I think if it could, I think that wouldn't be very difficult technology to implement for them, given that they make a lot of the sensors for a lot of companies. From what I understand, Sony actually makes Nikon sensors, which is kind of silly when you think about it. So, everything that Nikon's benefiting from, Sony's benefiting from too, because it's their technology. But at any rate, I think those are kind of the features that I want out of the A7 III. I don't know if I would go out and get one right away. I really like the idea of the price point of the original A7 being just under $1,000 when you buy it on Amazon. That means to me that I could go out and get one and get a couple of old manual focus, manual aperture prime lenses, like FD mount lenses, and adapt them and have a full frame camera on a budget that would allow me to be a little bit more light, a little bit more nimble, smaller, with a company and a brand and a first-party manufacturer that I trust and recognize as being a leader in the field. So I don't know if I'd buy the A7 III with those features, but I think if you've seen one of my recent videos on the kind of the state of the camera market, the imaging industry, you should have heard something to the effect that my opinion is that first-party manufacturers are going to have to be packing more and more features, more and more capability into more high-end cameras and producing predominantly higher-end cameras in order to offset the severe spiral of the sales of the compact camera because of the rise of smartphones. So I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'd love to have a conversation about what you want in the A7 III. I haven't covered anything about the A7R Mark III or the A7S Mark III because those are a little bit more outside of my realm of comfort. I think they're fantastic cameras, the A7R Mark II and the A7S Mark II, but right now I don't feel like I would be comfortable enough commenting on them. Additionally, because I know that some of the features in them aren't as good as some of the features in, for example, my 6300 as well as the 6500. I think they're really going to have to step up their game, and I think the dollar value is going to go, the price point is going to go up as well, which is a little off-putting, but I understand it at the same time. Those dollars are going to be needed to replace some of that compact camera market and to replace some of the lower-end camera market that they have kind of lost out on to the smartphone industry, and that will mean more features, higher price point, and consumers happier with those more features, first-party manufacturers happier with those more features, consumers not as happy with the higher price point, first-party manufacturers happy with that higher price point. So we'll kind of see how that comes out, but that's kind of what I'm anticipating, what I'm expecting, what I'm hoping for. And I really hope that I provided value for you in delivering this opinion, this content. Please don't hesitate to share this video if it did provide value to you, and if it was an opinion that was interesting or you disagreed with even, I'd love to have that conversation with you. So don't hesitate to like and subscribe. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next one. All I need